New Zealand is known as a very beautiful country. It has tall mountains, clear fjords, green fields, and lovely beaches. Many people around the world see it as a perfect place to live. It often ranks high for happiness and a good quality of life. People believe it is a calm and stable country with a clean environment. For many years, people thought it was a great place to escape busy cities and find a good work-life balance. However, behind this lovely picture, there is a big problem. New Zealand is losing many of its own people. This is a surprising truth. In the year ending July 2025, a large number of people, 128,000, left the country. This was the highest number ever recorded. More importantly, 71,800 of these were New Zealand citizens. This means more New Zealanders are leaving than in the past 13 years. This is not like the usual overseas experience where young people travel for a short time and then come back. This time it is different. Many of those leaving are young, skilled, and educated people. They are making a permanent choice to move away. Over 1/3 of the people who leave are under 30 years old. These are people who should be helping the country grow. Losing so many young and skilled people is a big problem for New Zealand's future. So, this makes us ask important questions. How can a country that looks so perfect, with beautiful nature and a peaceful society, be losing its most important people? Why are young professionals, skilled workers, and educated people leaving what seems like a paradise? This book will explore the reasons behind this important situation. We will look at why people are choosing to leave New Zealand for other countries. 2. The big numbers. New Zealand is seeing many people leave. Official numbers show this clearly. In the year ending August 2025, about 128,000 people departed the country. This was the highest number ever recorded. At the same time, fewer people arrived. This meant New Zealand's net gain from migration was very small, only around 10,600 people. This is a big drop from previous years. Many of those leaving are New Zealand citizens. Almost 72,000 citizens left in 1 year. This is the most in 13 years. This loss is significant because New Zealand has only about 5.3 million people. When nearly 48,000 citizens leave permanently in just 1 year, it means almost 1% of the whole population is moving away. Who is leaving? Many are young adults, aged 18 to 30 years. They make up almost 40% of all departures. These are often skilled workers and professionals beginning their careers. They are people who should be building New Zealand's future. Instead, they choose to seek opportunities elsewhere. Most of them, about 58%, move to Australia. Losing these young and skilled workers creates big problems. These individuals pay taxes and help the economy. Their departure leads to skills shortages, impacting public services like hospitals and schools. New Zealand loses productive citizens and replaces them with newcomers who need time to contribute fully. This trend is different from the past. Young New Zealanders often went overseas for an overseas experience, but usually returned home. Now, many seem to be making permanent moves. From 2004 to 2013, around 30,000 New Zealanders moved to Australia annually. However, this number dropped significantly between 2014 and 2019. The recent surge suggests many New Zealanders now view leaving as a long-term choice. 3. A small country's problems. New Zealand is a beautiful country, but its location in the world creates many problems for its economy. It is very far from the big markets and many people. This makes business difficult. Think about other big cities. For example, from Hong Kong, you can reach 42% of the world's people by flying just 3.5 hours. From Paris, you can reach 15% of people in the same time. But from Auckland, New Zealand, a 3.5-hour flight reaches only a very small part of the world's population, about 0.4%. This is a huge difference. This distance means higher costs for businesses. If a company makes things in New Zealand, it must pay a lot to send them to other countries. This makes products more expensive. It is hard for New Zealand companies to sell their goods cheaply when they are so far from buyers. Because of this, making many things like cars or electronics is hard in New Zealand. The country has a small number of people, so not many people buy these products at home. Sending them overseas costs too much money. So, companies find it difficult to make many products and compete with bigger countries. Manufacturing only makes up about 1/5 of New Zealand's economy. This number is lower than in many other rich countries. Technology companies also face problems. Even though technology uses the internet, businesses still need to meet customers and partners. Being far away makes these relationships harder to build. The technology sector in New Zealand is smaller than in most similar countries. It is also hard for New Zealand to become a big center for money and banks. Big cities like Sydney in Australia or Singapore are closer to many other countries. They are better places for large financial businesses. In simple terms, New Zealand's distance and its small population make it difficult to compete with bigger countries. It cannot easily build big factories or create many different types of jobs in industries like technology or finance. This basic problem affects how much money people can earn and the types of work they can find in the country. This can make young people look for opportunities elsewhere. 4. Farms and houses. New Zealand is very good at farming. The country has made its farms very modern and efficient. It grows a lot of food and sells it to other countries. This brings a lot of money into New Zealand. For example, farming adds $13.3 billion to the country's economy. This success is due to advanced farming methods, like using special grasses and machines. However, modern farms do not need many people to work on them.
Machines do a lot of the work now. This increased efficiency means farms can produce a lot of food with fewer workers. For instance, dairy farms today have many more cows than they did decades ago, but they employ fewer people per cow. Because of this, farming does not offer many jobs for young people who live in cities or have special skills. Also, farmland is very expensive, making it hard for young people to buy land and start their own farms without significant money. The country relies a lot on farming, but this specialization means there are not many different types of jobs in other areas. Another big problem in New Zealand is the cost of houses. Houses are very, very expensive. Many people cannot afford to buy a home. The economy of New Zealand depends a lot on buying and selling houses. In fact, buying and renting property, along with building, is one of the biggest parts of the country's economy. It contributes more money than all of New Zealand's factories combined.
This money often comes from just owning property and not from creating new products or services. This strong focus on property hurts other businesses. When houses and office spaces are expensive, it costs businesses more to operate. This makes it difficult for productive industries to compete with companies in other countries. Also, many people choose to invest their money in houses because it seems like a safe way to get rich. They do not invest in new companies, machinery, or technology that could help the country's economy grow in new ways. Young people find it almost impossible to buy a home. House prices have gone up much faster than what people earn from their jobs. New Zealand has some of the worst house price to income ratios in the developed world. This means a typical New Zealand house requires income levels that are simply too high for most young professionals to achieve. In one recent year, the average house cost 7.7 times more than the average income, which is still very high. For many young people, buying a house in New Zealand is just a dream. In 1991, about 76% of people owned their homes. Now, less than 60% own homes. This is the lowest number since 1945. Because of this, many young people feel they must leave New Zealand to find a place where they can afford a home and build a secure future. This property obsession is a main reason why skilled young people decide to move away. 5. Why Australia is a good choice. Australia is a very popular choice for New Zealanders who want to move. Many people look for better chances there. Australia has a much bigger economy. It is the world's 13th largest economy. This means there are more jobs and different kinds of jobs. For example, a person working in technology, engineering, or finance can find many more companies to work for in Australia. They can also find special jobs that are not available in New Zealand. In New Zealand, because the market is small, people often do many different tasks in one job. In Australia, a person can focus on one special area. This helps them grow their career. If someone wants to start a business, Australia's larger market helps the business succeed and grow. Also, there are more chances to meet people in the same industry in Australian cities. This helps people make important connections for their careers. The money people earn is also a big reason to move. Salaries in Australia are much higher than in New Zealand. The average yearly salary in Australia is around 98,000 Australian dollars. In New Zealand, it is about 61,548 New Zealand dollars. This means people can earn about 69% more money in Australia. For young workers, aged 21 to 34, they can be 30% better off after taxes. This difference is even bigger for people aged 35 to 44 at 34%. For many jobs, the difference is clear. A site engineer in Sydney can earn 50% more than in New Zealand. A tax accountant might earn 120,000 Australian dollars in Sydney, but only 95,000 New Zealand dollars in New Zealand cities. Even people in trades, like builders, can earn around 1,700 Australian dollars each week in Australia. In New Zealand, they might earn 1,300 New Zealand dollars for the same work. Managers also see higher pay in Australia, earning around 2,700 Australian dollars weekly compared to 2,000 New Zealand dollars. These are not small differences. They change a person's life and how much money they can save. Another important point is retirement savings. In Australia, employers pay 11% of a worker's salary into a special savings account for retirement called superannuation. In New Zealand, the amount employers pay into KiwiSaver is only 3%. This big difference adds up over a person's working life. It can mean hundreds of thousands of extra dollars for retirement savings in Australia. This is a very strong reason for skilled workers in their 30s and 40s to choose Australia. The benefits of moving are not just for a few jobs. Almost everyone who works can get more money and save more for the future by moving to Australia. 6. An easy move. Moving from New Zealand to Australia is very easy for New Zealanders. This is because of a special set of rules called the Trans-Tasman Travel Arrangement, or TTTA. It is one of the easiest ways for people to move between two countries in the world. This agreement allows New Zealand citizens to live and work in Australia without needing special visas or permission beforehand. Only basic health and good character checks are needed. This easy movement is not new. It has a long history. People moved freely between Australia and New Zealand even in old colonial times. The TTTA was officially started on January 22, 1973. Australian Prime Minister Gough Whitlam and New Zealand Prime Minister Norman Kirk made this agreement. At first, it was even more open. New Zealanders could use social welfare, healthcare, and schools in Australia just like Australians. Over time, some rules changed, especially in 2001, limiting access to certain social services. But New Zealanders can still live and work there for as long as they want without much trouble. The two countries are often seen as being like family. Their strong connection goes back to World War I, when soldiers from both countries fought together as Anzacs. This shared history created a very strong bond. Later, in 1983, the Closer Economic Relations (CER) agreement made trade between them very simple.
Goods and services can move freely, and it made sense for people to move freely too. Many things make the move feel simple, not like moving to a totally different country. Both countries share a common language, have similar legal systems, and enjoy the same sports. They also watch many of the same TV shows and listen to similar music. Because of these cultural similarities, a New Zealander moving to Australia feels less like an international move and more like moving to a different state or region. Many families also have relatives living in both countries, which means there is often family support ready for new arrivals. All these factors, from the special travel agreement to the deep historical and cultural ties, make moving from New Zealand to Australia a simple choice for many. This unique relationship means that finding new jobs and a new life across the Tasman Sea is much easier than for people moving to most other countries. 7. The sad stories. Many New Zealanders leave their home for new chances. Take Sarah and Michael, a young couple from Wellington. They are both engineers and earn good money. But even with good jobs, they could not buy a house in Wellington. Houses there are very expensive. Michael got a job offer in Australia that paid much more. Sarah also found a better-paying job there. They realized they could buy a bigger house and earn more money in Australia. Their story is not unique. Many skilled people are leaving. This hurts important services like hospitals and schools. New Zealand needs more doctors, nurses, and teachers. But many choose to work in Australia because of better pay and conditions. This means longer waits at hospitals and bigger classes in schools.
New Zealand spends money to train these people, but then they leave to work for other countries. When young people leave, families are often split. Grandparents stay in New Zealand, while their children and grandchildren live in Australia. This makes family gatherings harder and more costly. Small towns also suffer. They lose young workers and new ideas. Sports clubs and other groups have fewer people to help. Local shops have fewer customers. This makes towns less lively. New Zealand sometimes feels like a little brother next to Australia. Australia has more jobs and chances. This makes New Zealanders feel like their country cannot offer the same future. This idea grows when people see friends and family do better after moving to Australia. The country worries about losing its best people. It struggles to find ways to keep them at home. 8. The future of New Zealand. Many skilled people are leaving New Zealand. They look for better jobs and more affordable homes, often in Australia. This migration is happening because New Zealand's economy is small and houses are very expensive. The country's distant location also makes it hard for some businesses to grow and offer high-paying jobs. The strong pull of Australia, with its bigger job market and higher salaries, makes moving an easy choice for many young professionals and families. The government is trying to fix these problems with various plans. These include improving education for future workers and making it easier for businesses to succeed. There are also efforts to control rising house prices and make homes more affordable. However, many people think these plans are not big enough to stop so many people from leaving the country for good. The core issues of New Zealand's isolation and too much focus on property investment still remain. New Zealand must face some difficult decisions about its future. It cannot easily become a large manufacturing or technology hub due to its small size and far-off location. Some experts suggest that the country should focus on high-quality tourism and attracting wealthy people, accepting that many local people might still need to seek work overseas. Another idea is to become even more connected with Australia, perhaps even using the same money or sharing more government tasks. However, this deeper link could mean New Zealand lose some of its special culture and independence. The country needs to decide what kind of nation it wants to be.
Will it continue to send its young and skilled people away to find better jobs and lives? Or can it build a stronger economy that creates enough opportunities for everyone at home? The choices made now will truly decide if New Zealand can change its path and keep its talent. If not, this beautiful land risks slowly losing its energy and becoming less important as its brightest minds go to other places. What do you think New Zealand should do to make its future brighter and keep its young people at home?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.